Yoo-hoo. It's just going down. And this is funny. I'm wanting to write a post about it. Hopefully I will. So I don't want to give away too much of the goodness, but here's what's going down. So, you know that the Mormon missionaries came to visit us. I don't know where I can put you. I might have to hold you while I do this. I got a multitask, so. So they came that first time. Kid flashed them. You know the whole drill. Then they wanted to come back. They came back, and that's when they gave us their talk, and that's when we finally got our hands on the Book of Mormon. It was unfortunate because you may or may not know this part of it. Mr. F is not necessarily into my, I don't know, activities in this area. He doesn't care. He finds it humorous, like any other onlooker, but he doesn't want to have to sit and be part of an hour-and-a-half discussion about Mormonism. So unfortunately he did have to, because they can't come in the house if he's not home, and they don't really understand that he's not into it, you know what I'm saying? So that went on. It was kind of funny. They were asking us if we were having, you know, feelings that this might be true. And what is really funny, the funniest part of the whole thing is, when I'm not, I guess, I don't really know. We're not going to become Mormon. I mean, that's just a fact. But while talking to them, I mean, it was partly they're so like young and earnest, and you just kind of like, oh, they're 19. And I have a feeling that they have no idea how old we really are, because, you know, we're so young looking. But they're very, you know, they're very nice. And at one point something funny happened, and one of the guys said, well, it's either all true or it's all false. So later, when they left and we were having dinner, Mr. F and I, you might not know this, or you might, we often do funny chanting and clap-offs. This is kind of what we do. Kids love it. And we were doing one too. It's all true or it's all false. Alright. Anyway, you had to be there, but I'm telling you, it was really funny. Now, after this, after we got the Book of Mormon, which I think in general is the end of the missionary, you know, lay person, you know, interaction, I'm thinking. They call all the time. And even when they left, after they gave us the book, they were only going to leave it if we promised to read certain chapters and pray on and ask God if it's true. Well, the problem with this is this. So, obviously Mr. F didn't do that. Truthfully, I haven't done it yet either. And they're coming tomorrow. Now, at the time, I thought I would have more time to fit in the reading. I didn't. And, if you want to know, Kid did pray about it, because, you know, she's into that, and she said it is true. So they'll be happy to hear that. Well, but when she saw the Book of Mormon, they gave us each one. They had put a bookmark in them, which was different paintings of Jesus in the Book of Mormon, marking this what we're supposed to read. Well, of course, when Kid got her hands on those and she saw the Jesus paintings, she had to have them, and she took them out, and we lost our spots. So now I'm, you know, flummoxed about what I'm supposed to read, and I'm kind of stressed out because I have one night to get it done. Alright, there's that. That's funny. Also, so then they gave it to us, and they said, you know, they'd leave it with us, if, you know, and they would come back when, you know, to talk about it. So that's when I said, well, you know, would you guys want to come back for dinner? And they were very excited. Yes, they would like to come back for dinner. Well, why wouldn't they, I guess? So they're coming back for dinner tomorrow. So I asked them if either of them were vegetarian, and they were like appalled. Of course, they're not vegetarian. And one of them actually then said, no, I'm a human garbage can, which I thought was really funny. And that's when I decided goulash would be the perfect thing for a human garbage can. I also realized I'm used to these kind of smallish dieter portions, and I'm going to have 2 teenage guys come over for dinner, and I'm going to really need to make a lot more food than I normally do. So the goulash is perfect because it makes more than any person, you know, it makes more than like a 12-person family can eat. Alright. Anyway, so that's kind of what's going down. I'm a little stressed out. I'm going to try to read what I think I'm supposed to read. I guess I'll try to pray about it, but the fact that I don't believe in God kind of hinders that. I do think that is an interesting part. I'm going to try to be open with them about this, even though it's hard for me to be direct. And when people ask me stuff, then I think I know what they want to hear. It's hard for me not to give it to them that way. But, I don't know if you can see this. Here's the problem with this. Even if I believed in God, I don't think I believe in a Mormon religion, and it's unfortunate because wouldn't it be so great if I did? This would be so much easier dinner for them to attend. But the truth is, I can't really belong to a church where men and women aren't able to hold the same ranks and positions. I just don't personally cotton to that. And there's the whole gay marriage issue, people. I really support it with every fiber and core of my being. I just feel that it's a civil right and that there's nothing to do with religion involved. If you want to have a religious ceremony and have a spiritual marriage in that way, that's one thing, but I think it should just be a civil union, and I think that any human should be able to have that. So I can't really belong to a church probably at all. But also, you should know that I was brought up, you may know this, I don't know if you see me, in the Episcopal, church, and had a female minister at that time, and, obviously, it's a pretty gay-friendly church, so I just can't really, if I'm going to really belong to a church, it's probably closer to the best fit for me. Although I still find it fascinating. I'm still fascinated by Mormonism. I think it's hard for the missionaries to get that. I'm fascinated, but I'm not interested in converting. While I'm still interested in it. So they keep calling us to ask us to go to church, and of course Mr. F is not going to go to church. And I'm not taking this maniac to church. And while Kid would kind of enjoy it, it's probably not going to work out for us. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to be doing my readings tonight. I will, who knows, I'll pray about it. But here's what I think about prayer, if you're wondering. You need me to help you open it? I do believe in a larger energy, right? And I believe that when you quiet yourself, you can focus on things, and you can center yourself, and things that are important to you might become more apparent. Now, I think if you believed in a certain thing and you did that, that thing would be reinforced for you, correct? And that might seem to you like the voice of God. I don't personally believe in that interpretation of it. I believe it's your own self talking to you about what is important to you or what is meaningful to you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a different interpretation of that, and that's kind of what I believe. If I were going to have a God, that's kind of what I would believe, like in a larger unconscious, you know what I'm saying? So while I think if you're Mormon and you're a missionary and you're totally interested in, you read the Book of Mormon and you pray about it and you get the answer that it's true, it's because within yourself you believe it to be true and it's true for you. And I don't think that if I do that, and I can tell you I'm not going to get that result, not just because I'm close to getting it, but just because it's not within me. I don't know if I can get more explicit than that. And it doesn't make it any less true for you or anybody else. I think, you know what I mean? Your own truth is what comes out. And everyone's truth is valid, and that's why I might have a hard time ever being able to practice a sect religion. You know what I'm saying? Alright, that's where I'm at. Giddy up.